Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to, I was going to say something a little bit different, but it's actually not really. This is another mod, another Dayz mod. This is Dayz, it's got zombies, and it's called Dayz 2017. Now, obviously the first thing is quite obvious, is the character models are different. The spawning is different as well, it's a lot lower. But to be honest, I was already a bit disappointed when I first started. I've watched a couple of videos already and everyone's already seems to be running around with axes. But it took me a couple of seconds to find an axe. So PvP is just going to be me and someone else swinging an axe at each other. Which might be fun for the first 2 or 3 times, but after a while, it does get a little bit annoying and a bit daft. The fact that you're finding an axe in the first place. Because I think if you're trying to represent yourself as a, the zombie apocalypse in 2017, as far as I'm concerned, I think the weapons should be rare. I'm not talking like rare, I mean like really rare, like maybe 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 on the map. Because the whole part of being in the apocalypse in the first place is, you're in that situation now where, you're an only survivor. You've got to find food and water and drink. And it's tough. In this real scenario, it would be bloody hard. You wouldn't be running along, or find a can of baked beans and then run to the next town and pick up an axe and find a car and it's just things like that are probably not. In reality, it's not going to happen. You're going to be put in scenarios along the way where we got a crossroad here, so we're going to make a decision here. Something in the distance there, we go this way. No particular reason, just felt like it. Yeah, like I said, you expect it to be very hard, very difficult, not just the game, but, life in this situation. And so far, life for me has been pretty easy. I mean, I ran around the corner, got myself a drink, I picked up a load of chem lights, found a couple of fuel cans. Don't get me wrong, the loot spawning is a lot less than what it was, there's no doubt about that. I've just had a drink, so I'm going to not bother going that way. Nothing there really. I'm thinking, well, let's go for a jog up this road. So like I said, I mean, I wish they wouldn't have put the axes in there, to be honest with you. I think that would have been better. I mean, look, I'll give you another example, right? If we were in a zombie apocalypse now and I had an axe, I'd rather shoot someone than I would hit with an axe, to be honest with you. Of course I would. Because you have to have a sort of a certain mentality to hit someone with an axe. Obviously in the game, that I would hit someone with an axe, no problem. But then it becomes one of them PvP sort of battle outs with an axe, you know what I mean? You think to yourself, well, because obviously there's no consequences in the game, you don't care about killing someone with an axe. Now, if I had a gun, obviously, to defend myself, I would use it. But I'd be probably a little bit more dubious about the axe, to be honest with you, because I don't really want to hit someone with an axe and see big chunks chopped out of them. So, like I said, I probably wouldn't actually whack someone in the axe, obviously in real life, but I probably would shoot them. Sort of does make me sound like a psycho, doesn't it? But I'm sure you'll understand what I mean. I don't know, I'm not a born killer, so I definitely wouldn't go around wielding an axe at someone and killing them. I'm going to have another drink anyway, as I'm here, so seems logic, doesn't it? And then just fill it up. Even though I've already had a drink, so I don't know when I'm next going to see water. So like I said, I mean, what I would have expected to see out of this is probably, I've already heard a tank, to be honest with you. I don't know if someone's hacked it in or not, but there was a tank buzzing around earlier. So, see that someone's saying that who's in a tank. So I think that's a little bit daft. I mean, that might be a hacker, fair play, but who knows. But like I said, I would have expected to not find an axe. Maybe there'd be like, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 on the whole entire map. You know, because would that be the probably reality? I don't know. Maybe. Then I'll probably expect to find weapons. I mean, I found a revolver earlier, but it was flying in the sky and I couldn't pick it up, unfortunately. But that had like the new normal sort of loot spore ammo with it as well. It had 3 sort of clips for it, so that would have been, you know, a good few rounds there. Now I would have expected to find a revolver with a couple of bullets in it, to be honest. And if that, maybe 1 round, you know. So, you know, by putting that into the equation, then you then have to start, you know, you see a survivor, he's not threatening, he hasn't got any valuables like that you want, so you're not going to waste your bullets, right? Where in the current state, you find a gun with 3 rounds, you're just going to shoot them. You know, you're going to shoot them with their chem lights and their axe. You know what I mean? You might as well. So that's my thoughts anyway. I mean, that's what I would, if I had to make a, you know, a mod, just to mod the current Dayz model, I would do that and make it blooming tough. You know what I mean? You know, with all fairness, since I'm playing, I haven't actually seen anyone get killed by a player yet. Everyone's died by a zombie, and the main reason is because when you actually start, you don't actually start with a bandage. So knowing zombies, how they normally work is, you know, you could get unlucky. The first swipe could make you bleed, and you're just going to bleed out and die. Now, you know, if you're very, very lucky, you might better take 3 hits and then start bleeding. So to be honest, the threat of the zombie, although the animation and everything about them is pretty poor, you know, the threat is there now from the zombie, purely on the basis that you don't have a bandage, you know. So, as he freaked out there, I kill something. I actually don't have a knife, so that was pretty pointless. I can't get him anyway. Now, I have noticed there's obviously a lot of animal spawns on there. So I was in a field earlier and I saw a goat and a sheep. So I'm hoping that some prioritization over animal spawning is going to be high. And I also hope to find a knife and some survival gear. Now, I suppose the other question is what sort of weapons there are. I have no idea, to be honest. I've literally just installed this and literally just started it, so I have no idea what I'm going to run into. You know, the other question you've got to ask yourself, if you go to the airfield, you know, are you going to find a M24? Are you going to find an AK? Are you going to find an ACOG? You know, what are you going to find in these locations? I don't know. So, the way I wanted to play it anyway, I just wanted to play it like, you know, this is a zombie apocalypse and treat it for how it is and just bop along and then just see what happens. And so far I've done that. Now, I've been through a couple of the other sort of smaller towns, but so far no loot spawns. And I'm not really sure if the loot's coming out spawning on the floor yet, or is it spawning in the buildings like it does in normal Dayz. But the 2 towns I went through, there were towns where you have the wooden hut, you can enter through the front door. Now, I didn't find any loot in any of them. The 2 towns I went in, they were big towns. I checked the fuel station. So we're gonna. I'm gonna take the wheel, obviously. Bugged out. Back again. Oh, it'll be appear in a minute. It's in there somewhere. I don't want any aggro really, so. If I kill him, this is risky, you know. Well, I suppose I could just stand in the tree. Where is he? Whew, that was a little bit stressful, guys. But look, that was a worthwhile steal. Look, I dropped a jerry can there. So... hide the body. Now that was a worthwhile risk, I think. That. Now that was a little bit of a test. I mean, I wanted to just to confirm to myself: did they spawn loot? Looks like it's getting dark as well. So they obviously spawn loot, so that's a good thing. Now I've got a bandage now, so I'm not saying I can be gun ho, but I definitely can be a little bit more braver. So yeah, I like the element of that. I mean, you shouldn't start with a bandage. I sort of get that. You know, I think that's how it should be. Something else I've noticed as well: the draw distance. If you ever look, you know, you can't see far. The draw distance has really been dropped down now. I've played about with the some of the settings. You know, there's no way to get rid of that fog. That is actually there because, I'm assuming just to stop long range shooting or something like that. Now, I'm not expecting for someone to have an AS50, and I suppose if they did, I would assume they're obviously cheating or something on the lines of that. And I just, do you know what? Because I was chatting away. No, I'm going the wrong way. Got another dam here, so we can have another drink. I think it's got water in it or not. It looks dry, this one. So some of the things I need, if we go on, if we go to the basics really, the first thing I need to find now is food, because obviously I'm going to die of starvation. So there needs to be other methods and other ways to actually eat food or get food, whether it's eating plants or doing something else, because the current issue we've got now is, you know, when you spawn in, you're just going to head towards these towns, you know. So far I've been very fortunate to find plenty of water. Now, I think I've probably had about 3 drinks, but probably really only needed 1. So I think it's something I've worked out before, something like 2 drinks for every can or every food or something like that. So on that basis, I'm probably on my first drink, so I've probably, the distance I've covered, I can cover it again. So we've got a small village coming up now. So I'm not really too sure. I'm pretty certain that most of these are probably going to be non-enterable, but the only ones I need to keep my eyes out for is the wooden cabins. Now, I've already been in 2 or 3 of the wooden cabins and not found anything. Actually, I found the chem lights in one of them. Oh, excuse me. Nothing there, is there? So no point going in that little town there. Unless stuff is actually spawning on the floor and I'm missing something, I don't know. Well, like I said, I'm not expecting to find loads of loot, but you know what I mean? It's just me working out the game. Once I understand where things are spawning in. Now, Dayz's added spawning in loot on the floor, outside of buildings and stuff like that, so on the barracks. And so I was guessing that maybe this has the same logic. Now, the sun's actually going down. You don't start with a map. Should have really checked that at the start, but wouldn't have suspected to, really. I suppose my contingency plan, I have a contingency plan, I suppose. When my food goes very red, I then start killing zombies for food. That's all I can do. So I've probably got another, 5 minutes in me? And then it's probably going to be red. So I suppose in this next town I really need to make a decision. What? I had to scream. Here's one incoming. Now I might take him out. Let's just get my breath back. God, he's fast, isn't he? Tactic there. I'm going to take that. Oh, actually, I've got enough room, have I? Well, I'm going to take that with me as well, because you don't know what happens. You know, later on, I might get into a situation where I have no bandage and I want to use some sort of distraction method. And it may be throwing a can. So, I suppose that's the good perspective, the good point of it as well. At least now the cans and the bottles have a purpose. Before, it's totally pointless, aren't they, really? Let's be honest. I mean, whoever plays this game, how many times have you thrown a can or a bottle? Very, very rarely. In fact, I haven't even tested the logic yet, to be honest with you, and see if it actually even works. So, now, I think most of the videos that are going to be out for this, so they're not going to be... There's not going to be a lot of action, is there, really? Because they're just survival. This is survival. The character models, they look good, but, you know, in some ways you sort of hoped... I know, I'm asking a little bit too much, but you sort of hope they would have represented what I'm physically carrying. And then I suppose now you're going to say, where's the car wheel? And I see your point. And where's the jerry cans? Yeah, you see what I mean? Can you really carry 2 big jerry cans and a spare wheel with you? I don't think so. So I think they should make it more realistic. You know, you shouldn't be able to carry a bloody wheel. I know, the downside is then how do you repair a car? But they should make the actual bits you need to repair it like a spark plug or something rather than a wheel. Or something, you know, that is going to be, you know, you could get in your bag. So we've got a town up on the hill there, and I'm thinking about taking these zombies out, just so I can get the food thing out of the way. And so far the zombies do seem to be spawning in some stuff, so... Get my breath back, he's coming in. Here he comes. Oh, him. Can't see. So I'm actually bleeding there. So there goes my bandage. No, he hasn't got much on him. Empty whiskey bottle, and that is it. So we're back on our way. A little pond here. Long barn, I think. I'm probably going to find another axe here, I reckon. And we've got a red building there, so we've got some entrables here, so hopefully I'll find something here. Now, don't have a bandage now. I should have I was going to kill the rest of the zombies, but to be honest, I wasn't expecting to bleed out on the first one. So this is how the game should be. You should have to. These are the sort of decisions you should have to make. You know, because the zombie was never an issue before. In fact, you know, although people like to see the zombies in there, they weren't even really a part of the game. They didn't really do anything. Very rarely. I mean, I've probably died from a zombie very rarely. .45 rounds, and they could come in handy later. Do I want any more chem lights? What else we got over there? Bear trap there, look. How many slots the bear trap? I might just drop the wheel. Risk it. Take the bear trap. I think I've got some wood in my backpack already. I was going to check. Yeah, I've got some wood. So we're alright on that one. But more flares there. Lots of zombies here. Oh, whispering. Assuming they can't still run inside, so that's alright. One down. Whiskey bottle. Appears to be I'm shaking as well. I need some painkillers then. Be careful, guys, because I got. Just can't risk it, can I? Could not risk it. Like I said, I mean, look, one white. I mean, if I get one hit now, let's hide these as well. Don't want anyone to know I'm here. Get a lot of desync as well, so that was concerning me. I was thinking, look, desync. So on that note, I think I better end this one here because it's coming up for about what 25 minutes now, and I think I'm gonna in the next video I'll continue looting the town, and then fingers crossed I stay alive. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye now.